Hello NCU students, welcome to week 1. Hoping and praying this week goes well for you. Listen, this week is very light in terms of assignments that are due. In fact, there are no assignments due, no discussion threads or anything else, right? My strategy in starting off light is to get you into the book and reading the text to get you familiar and thinking about this topic. I've included some additional material under the attend section and whatnot. So take a look at that. Again, my strategy is just to get you thinking about operations management, supply chain management as well, and not going to hit you really hard with discussion questions and problems and quizzes until starting next week, all right? So listen, this week is light, but it's that way on purpose. And one of the major topics, though, of chapter 1 and 2 is this notion of efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity. And these are not synonymous terms, okay? They all mean something a little bit different, and quite a bit different, at least in a couple of cases. The spreadsheet that's under the Required Resources tab provides some measures of productivity. In case you're not familiar with that term productivity, think about it like this. Productivity can be measured in any number of different ways. There's really not a standard way to measure it. The most typical, though, of measuring productivity is creating a ratio or comparison between units of outputs to units of inputs. Like how much output do you get basically based on this number of inputs to the process. So 100% productivity would be for every 1 unit of input, there's 1 unit of output. That's pretty rare, though, to be honest with you. But you know what? Businesses define those units of outputs and units of input differently. And some have even developed unique productivity measures specific to their business or their industry. One of the advantages of having common comparisons in industry, at least, in a specific industry of productivity, is you can compare how well one business is doing compared to another business in that same industry. Now, similarly, but not the same thing, is this idea of efficiency. Now, efficiency is typically defined as doing a task or an activity at the lowest possible cost, using the least amount of resources, if you will, to get something done. That's efficiency. But not to be confused, effectiveness is doing the right thing that supports the mission or purpose of the business. Efficiency and effectiveness are not the same thing, and sometimes people use them, like interchangeably. Shouldn't do that. In support of that, I've attached a video in the Attend tab that discusses the importance of understanding the differences between efficiency and effectiveness and in value as well, in light of the organization's purpose. In fact, I dive into a little bit of organizational theory to help you kind of connect the dots together. This is a video that I put together for a master's degree course, an MBA course in operations management. But I think you guys will get it, and I think it'll help you understand as we begin this discussion on operations management, what the differences are between efficiency and effectiveness and productivity and that sort of thing. Well, another major theme in chapter 1 and 2 is that we need to pay attention to is that of supply chain management. In brief, when we talk about supply chain management, we're talking about managing the flow of material and processes from the suppliers of the raw material all the way to the customer's shelves or into the customer's hands. This is going to be a continuous discussion throughout all of this course, so make sure you're reading up on this topic in the very beginning in chapters 1 and 2. Check out the IKEA example in chapter 2 about how they've implemented a unique strategy to deliver effective customer service. And if you've ever been into an IKEA store, you know what I'm talking about. Also, pay attention to the risk mitigation strategies that are displayed in Exhibit 2.4. Many businesses face risks that quite frankly, they often ignore. Leaders, though, in those companies, they pay attention to these risks, and they take preventative action to avoid shutting down their supply chains or hurting their company. And Exhibit 2.4 calls out some of those strategies. Finally, as you look through chapters 1 and 2, read up on the triple bottom line that companies must now adhere to. No longer is just making a profit enough for a company to be successful. It's not enough just to make money to satisfy shareholders and stakeholders any longer. In today's world, businesses must now meet three different bottom lines. There's a profit bottom line, of course, that's always got to be met. But as important is an environmental bottom line. What is the company doing to protect the environment? And then third is, I would say, like a social causes bottom line. What is it that the company is doing with social injustices in the world, and how is it taking its stand on certain issues? So the three bottom lines are profit, environment, and then social causes. Ignoring any one of those bottom lines, and a business could collapse. All right, that's it for now. I'm praying for you this week as we start down this course. Contact me with questions, and remember, I have virtual office hours on Tuesday evenings from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, where you guys are located out there. So listen, don't forget, God is on his throne. He's always been there, and he's always going to be there.